Hi, I'm Marc Steinberg, founder of Creative Consciousness International, and today I want to dive deep into what we call the check-in, the creative consciousness or consciousness coaching check-in. So what is that? Well, as you can see here on the template, it is a brief check-in with yourself for the purpose to connect with yourself. In the process of everyday living, we lose connection. We get so distracted by things. Emails are coming in, WhatsApp is coming in, mail is coming in from all sides, and our own agenda, and we get kind of thrown off the turning wheel of everyday living. The check-in is a wonderful tool. 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes of your time to connect with the four bodies in yourself. You consist of the mental body, the emotional body, the spiritual body, and of course the physical body. So in the first line of the check-in, there is the dominating mood. So why are we asking that? Well, the dominating mood over the last 24 hours. When you ask yourself, what was my dominating mood over the last 24 hours? Well, of course, you had ups and downs and left and right. But overall, how was it? Was it more happy, more sad, more angry, more disconnected, not knowing where you are, what happened? Our emotional body usually gets overlooked because we are too busy in our head. So it's a very powerful moment where usually people need to reflect a little bit, going really back, how did I feel the last 24 hours? What was my mood? And then you share what it is, and that's all it needs in order to be reconnected to your emotional body, to your feelings. And then from there on, the next question is physical. What's your physical condition? And that is in the here and now. So not over the last 24 hours, but here and now. How are you? That forces you to go inside. That means inside your body, you do a kind of a scan. How's my neck? Okay, so you pick up some tensions maybe, you pick up some pains, or maybe everything is great and good, but you have an opportunity to acknowledge what is there. A headache or not, a pain in the foot, inconvenience in the back, maybe you have overeaten, or just to acknowledge the physical state. After that, the core energy. What's your core energy state? And here it is important that you take a moment and really diversify the three states: joy, anger, sadness. So in percentages. So it could be, for example, my core energy state is 70% joy, 20% anger, 10% sadness. And don't forget that sadness in the core energy context is the result of suppressed anger. So we're not talking about sorrow, which is a state of the emotional state when you lost something that was dear to your heart. But it is a sadness that comes from suppressing your life energy. And therefore, it might be that there's a great state of anger and a lot of it is suppressed, not acknowledged, not allowed, and therefore it turns into sadness. It is important that you really are diversifying here. So maybe it's 50% joy, 30% anger, and still you are suppressing some parts of the anger, therefore 20% sadness. It's a good way to check in with yourself with regard to your core energy. And it's different from the emotional body. The emotional body is a feeling, a mood. The core energy is a state of energy. And after that, the next question is your heart connection. How much are you connected to your heart? How do you assess that? Well, it is the connection to that what makes you experience a state of love, a state of appreciation, a state of gratitude. It's that feeling of, yes, it's an expansive feeling. So if you're not connected to your heart, then you are feeling contracted, totally in your head, you're busy, you need to do things. Yeah, that kind of feeling. When you're connected to your heart, you still might have a full to-do list, but you're connected to your heart. That means you're clear with regard to what's important in your life. What's important in your life is being connected to what you love. You need to be connected to yourself, of course, to the divine, to the beloved, to the pets you have in your environment, to the flowers, to the city, to whatever. As long as you are connected in love. If you're not connected, then you simply acknowledge that. So that's heart connection. The next one is the mental state of clarity. Now, mental state of clarity means not that all the questions you have in your mind are ticked off and answered. No. It means, are you clear with regard to your mental state, which is awareness, which is your thought forms, which is everything that's going on in your mind? Clear as in present too? Or is there fuzziness, a numbness, kind of a confused state? Even I get confused when I try to say the word confusion, right? So you think, is it kind of that, or is it simply, no? I'm clear. I'm clear I need to do that. I'm also clear that this is ahead of me. I'm clear with regard to where I am. No, I'm clear. Good. So that's the state of clarity with regard to your mental mind. And then we have happy to be you. Now, to what degree are you happy to be you? Again, every time you do the check-in, it needs to be a fresh look, not coming from the past, not from memory, how it was yesterday, last week, overall. No. Now, how happy are you to be yourself in this moment? It could be 90%, 95%, sometimes 80, 70, 60%, because it's maybe painful to be you at the moment because you haven't processed particular things in your life that needs processing, or you just don't feel comfortable in yourself. Something's going on. So acknowledging that, what is there? And often when it is 80% or below, I recommend that you ask yourself, is there something you can acknowledge? So acknowledging that you are disconnected from your partner, or acknowledging that you are angry or whatever there is. Making a decision. Is there something that you could make a decision on in order to raise from 80% higher? Now maybe you would need to make a decision that you're gonna do that what you procrastinated for the last 2 weeks tomorrow. And suddenly you feel much better about happy to be you, because you took action. You stopped procrastinating. You stopped being a victim. The most part of us not being happy to be ourselves is relying on we are a victim. Of course we are a victim self-made. It's always self-made, because we didn't take decisions, or we avoid taking decisions, we don't acknowledge things, or we are not willing to let go. Let go is the third part. I'm talking about the 3C tools here: acknowledging, making a decision, or letting go. So is there something you could let go? Maybe an expectation, maybe a resistance. And if you manage to let go of it in this moment, okay, so now how you feel about happy to be you? 90%, okay. You can play that until you rise to 100, absolutely. If you don't have the time, just do one of them. Ask yourself, what of the three tools, acknowledging, letting go, making a decision, is calling me in order to raise the score with regard to happy to be myself? And after that, the last part is simply to ask yourself, is there anything that is left to be shared? It could be something you missed in the former parts of the check-in, something that just happened to you or became aware, or anything else to be shared. Not the story, but something that is there. When you share it, you feel complete and present. And that's the completion of the check-in. When you are in a relationship, or also, but let's do one after the other. When you're in a relationship with your partner, I highly recommend that you do the check-in with your partner as a habit every day. After a while, you don't even want to miss it anymore. You can't imagine how to start a day without a check-in. First of all, when your partner is doing the check-in, you are really becoming present to very important elements with regard to who your partner is. And your partner is grateful for doing the check-in, and you are the listener, and you are grateful for receiving the check-in. Vice versa. So if you both are doing the check-in, you really have done something wonderful for your connection. And in the evening in your relationship, you can also add and share nuggets of the day. What are your 3 nuggets of the day? That's a wonderful topic over dinner. Really, it's fantastic, because it is an opportunity to acknowledge what happened during the day, and also you get to know what was touching your partner, what was there for them that made it a nugget. In the professional world, in the business world, if you have a team to lead or just be with your business partner, check in. Really, so important to acknowledge our human side of things, to acknowledge the 4 bodies, to acknowledge the connection we have. So I hope I inspired you to have a refreshed relationship to the check-in, to really do it in depth, give it the depth and the meaning that it has, and it's connecting yourself all the time and again, time and again, time and again. Okay. So have a wonderful time with yourself. Happy to be you, and thank you for listening.